Guys, breakfast story time. So I'm getting ready for the work this morning and I was like taking my time, getting ready, started the car, started driving away from the spot that I was parked in, and I started hearing meowing. And I was like, oh no, because I've seen like posts on social media and stuff. I don't know how real this is, but it's about how cats like sleep up into car engines because it's warm. And so I was really afraid that maybe a cat had found its way into sleeping somewhere on my car, and now I was putting it in risk of getting injured because I was driving it. So I completely stopped the car, turned off the engine, and start checking the car. I open the hood, I'm looking around the wheels, I'm like calling for this cat, and I'm not hearing anything. And I'm like, oh no, I just killed a cat. And I'm freaking out. Oh my god, I'm a cat killer. This is awful. Oh my god. So at this point, I'm this close to calling my boyfriend and being like, please talk me down because I think I just killed a cat. And I was standing there and then I heard the meowing again. And I was like, okay, wait, I think we're okay. And then I realized it was a bird. A bird was making meowing noises. What happened was the bird outside was very, very loud, and you could tell that it wasn't a cat because otherwise the cat would have had to be really loud. But in the car, it sounded like the meowing was coming from inside the car. So, yeah, it was very weird. It was a very weird experience. But now I know, better safe than sorry. I'm glad I stopped and checked because I always would have wondered otherwise. But gosh, that was pretty rude, bird, for giving me a panic attack at 6 in the morning. Anyways, I am sitting here, obviously eating breakfast. I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I thought it was crazy, and I wanted to share before I go to work. So I'm going to finish my breakfast, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. I was driving around after work, and thankfully I got to watch this pretty sunset. But I was driving around after work, just driving because, I don't know, I find driving very relaxing and it's kind of an escape for me in a way. And I was just watching like all the families walking with their kids and their dogs, and it was like very cute. And that's one thing that I feel like this global pandemic has brought us, is that it gives us time with our families and it gives those dogs those much needed walks. I saw a couple walking their dogs, and they were small dogs, and it just made me think of Echo and Toby. And it was so weird because I was just driving and I saw them and I was just hit with it. Every once in a while that happens where I'm doing a regular everyday thing, and then I'm reminded that they're not with me. I hate it. I hate it so much. I know that the ones of you that have been with my channel for a while and have been watching my vlogs for a while know that in the beginning, when I started doing vlogs, I was still married and I was still living with Echo and Toby, my dogs. Well, my ex-husbands and my dogs. They were with me 24/7. They were just my little shadows, and every time I had a hard day, they were there. And every time I had a good day, they were there. I spent so much time with them, and they... Sometimes I feel like I'm grieving for them like they have passed away. Which almost makes it worse because I don't know if I'll get to see them again before they go. And that terrifies me. And The thing about Echo and Toby is that they were really my children. 100%. They were my babies, and they still are my babies. I will always consider them to be mine. I mean, you see this shirt, like, yes, I love dogs, but, like, I have a dog mom shirt. Like, I am fully embracing that I'm still a dog mom, even though they're not with me. I had a friend who, at the time when I was going through my divorce, told me, keep the dogs, keep them with you. You're gonna regret it. And I knew that I was going to regret it. But I also knew that there was the potential for me to be in this position. I mean, God, what would I do if I had Echo and Toby with me? I would just, God, that would be so awful. And I would never want to risk putting them in a shelter or having to adopt them out. Like, that would just break me. And I knew that there was the potential for this. Way back when I was getting divorced, I knew that there was going to come a day where I was probably going to be homeless. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I knew. I just felt it. I didn't want them to go through that. I didn't want them to be hopping around weird places. I didn't want them to have to live in a car. Like, there's no way I could have done that. There's no way. I know that they're safe with him. I know that he's taking care of them. But it's just really hard because I miss them. I miss them so much. And if I knew that I was going to be in a stable place and that I could have taken care of them, I would have taken them. There's no question about it. Like, if I knew 100%, but I didn't. I didn't know. And I don't regret leaving them with him for the reason that they're safe. And that they're not having to be moved around all the time. But I regret so much that they're not with me and that they probably will never be with me again. And I regret that a lot. I love Echo and Toby, I really do. But Toby and I especially had I don't know what to call it other than a deep soul bond. And I know that those of you who have dogs or, even cats will understand this when I say this. It was like he was a part of me. And it's not that Echo wasn't that. I adore Echo. She's amazing, but I feel like she had that bond with my ex-husband and Toby had that bond with me. And I remember when they were babies and up until the time that I left, when they were with me, Toby always wanted to be on me. He wanted to be held all the time. And Echo was a little bit more independent. She was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I want to be independent. I don't need you, Mom. And then, as soon as we would go to the dog park, she would be like, Mom, hold me. But Toby just always wanted to be with me. And he was so silly. He always wanted to be held like a baby. Like, if you tried to hold him like a dog, he would, like, squirm and wouldn't want you to hold him. But if you held him, like, this is so weird. I don't know if I have a picture of it to show you guys. If I have a picture of it, I'll show it to you. If you would take his back legs and put them on either side of your hip so that he's kind of sitting on it like a little baby, and you hold him like a little baby on your hip, he loved that. That is how he wanted to be held. And if you tried to hold him any other way, he would get really upset and he would be like, no, 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 I need to be held like a baby. And it was the best thing. I used to hold him like that, be doing chores, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And he would sit with me like when I had hard days and when I had days where I was in so much pain or I was lonely and just really struggling mentally or emotionally. He was there. Like, he was on my lap. He was there looking at me. He would sit there and just look at me, like, right into my eyes. And until I would be like, I'm gonna be okay, it's okay. And then he would kind of settle down. But it's like he knew. Honestly, I swear to God, that baby is so smart. He is so smart, and I didn't talk to you guys a lot about the divorce and what happened. Through the divorce process, there was a day that I knew was going to be the last time that I saw Echo and Toby. And it was the day that I was moving all of my stuff out of the house. Which, anybody who's been through a breakup where you've lived with the person or a divorce where you're moving everything out, it's heartbreaking. It really is. It's hard. It's so awful. And it was just a hard day all around. After I got all my stuff out, I knew it was time to say goodbye. And I knew that I didn't want to, but I knew that it needed to happen. And they had been cooped up in a room so that they wouldn't be like underfoot when we were moving stuff. Because every time I came over, they would want to see me. And I went into the room after we had moved everything, and I sat there with them. And Echo was like jumping all over me, and she was really excited to see me. But Toby just waited until she had kind of like gotten her excitement out and had gotten her hugs. And he sat there and he waited until, I had given her attention and stuff. And then when my ex-husband picked up Echo, Toby walked over and he came over to me, walked onto my lap, and then he jumped up and put his arms on my shoulders like he was giving me a hug. And I knew that that was his way of saying goodbye, and we just sat there like that. I just hugged him for as long as I could. He just nuzzled his head into my neck. I just miss them so much. And sometimes I'm just reminded just how much I miss them. And there's days that I can think about them and remember these memories and just feel the emotion and release it. And today it's just all consuming. And it's the day that I'm just enveloped in this complete and utter sadness. And I just miss them. I miss them a lot. There's just a bond that you have with animals that is so unique. And I don't have my own kids, so I don't know if it's similar to that. But I've never felt that kind of love towards something. I've always loved the animals in my life, family, pets, and things like that, but I have never felt the kind of love and devotion that I had for Echo and Toby. I have never felt that before. And there's something I think unique about it because it's this being that, and I'm talking about dogs because, sometimes cats can be this way, but with Echo and Toby, I just knew that their existence was, when do we get to see this person next? That's what their purpose is just to be happy and live their everyday lives, and their excitement when you get back lets you know that they have been so excited to see you. I mean, if they forgot that you were gone, they wouldn't be excited to see you. And there's something very magical about dogs, especially. I'm biased, but there's something special about pets, but just dogs have such a special place in my heart because they are just so devoted. They will love you and adore you in ways that people sometimes can't. And they will be there to give you love when you don't have love. I have it in the divorce decree that if he were ever to want to give them up or not be able to take care of them that they would be offered to me. But there's nothing in the divorce decree that says that he has to tell me when they pass away. I kind of wish I put that in there, but at the same time, I'm just hoping that he will tell me, because I I would want to know. I mean, I don't want to know, but I feel like I would want to know. But either way, whether alive or dead, I know that they're always going to be with me. 100%. They will always be with me. I've been babbling on for a really long time. I can see the little timer at the top. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna eat. But yeah, that's just what's going through my mind right now. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I really do. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you. Thank you for holding space for me continuously and just being awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it a lot. But I am gonna go, and yeah,